Okay. According to OBS, I think, I believe I am live on Twitch and on YouTube, so a historic evening. An historic evening, indeed. I'm gonna have to figure out my drink situation though, on the with the new setup. The drink situation is not exactly well. I guess I can still put it over there. I mean, if I put it over to my right here, like right there. That's on my mouse mat, but like it's not on a part of the mat where I'm ever actually probably going to put my mouse. So I guess I'm not too worried about it. So there we go. All right. Oh shit. All right, some last minute modifications here. That's better. Let's see if Evan's absolute dumbass is in VOD Ninja yet. Nope. It is not. That's the wrong one. I wonder how that works. I'd rather just put the fucking link in there, if I'm being completely honest. Like and subscribes. Like and subscribes, please. Like and subscribes, please. Like and subscribe, please. Yeah, there we go. Yo. What the hell, X/Twitter bullshit? What kind of preview is this? What a junk ass preview. Garbage. Total garbage. I cannot hear you, by the way, if you're trying to talk to me. All right, let's get OSB in here. Shazam. There he is. Is your mic muted? Interesting. Your name is lighting up in Discord, but I still can't hear you. That's very strange. No, I'm not. Yeah, everything is lighting up in Discord. That's very weird. Fuck. Fucking audio. Fuck. What if... I mean, it could be something on my side. I don't know what it would be on my side, though. I got you on. Hold on, let me check my GoXLR. Maybe I got something fucked up in my routing on GoXLR. Nope. Chat should be right there in the stream. It's in the broadcast. It's in the headphones. Nothing changed there. I don't have you fucking... Do I have you muted? I don't have you muted. Voice and video. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, hold on. It's on my end. Gosh damn it. It's on my end. Hold on. All right, now I can hear you.
There we go.
Gosh damn it. That's the kind of the pain. I've got the Arctis wireless headphones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of go back and forth once in a while because I get tired of the wired headphones when I just want to like chill and play some golf, or games or whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
But then the fucking like its software, it fucking just invades everything else on my PC and changes shit in Discord. Yeah, exactly. So, all right, cool. All right, we're up and running on YouTube. We're up and running on the YouTube. Up and running on Twitch. So, yeah, all of the. So, how do you feel about if the audio from those videos plays over the stream? I don't think that would be too big of a deal, right?
I wouldn't think so. I mean, all of these clips are still up on fucking Twitter.
I know.
Right?
Yeah, that's what I went back. I'm going through the DMs, and I thought I didn't expect some of those videos to even still be there, and they are. The one with the fucking the one guy who posted the 4 videos like in the one frame. It's all there.
I'm surprised any of them are still up.
I am, but I'm also not either, because I feel like DICE probably thought to themselves, let's not act like dicks about this.
Maybe.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, we kind of need to garner some goodwill with the community. So, yeah, we'll talk about that for sure. Yeah, so that was and yeah, all the ones you you put in the DMs on the Discord too are still in there too, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. Fucking YouTube. Warning, stream's current bitrate is lower. Yeah, well, okay. I don't think that's too much of an issue because this always happens, but then everything just kind of goes right back to being fine. So, chill out. Stream health. The stream health. I thought I was using a bitrate of 6800 on this. Well, I'm not going to change it now. I don't think I can. Oh, can I change it on the fly? I got it set up for normal latency. Alright, anyways. I'm about to try to change it. I don't want to disconnect.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Right. There we go. All right, let's go. Jackie boy, what's up? Go Wings 25. How you doing, man? Tigers and yeah, it's that beautiful time of year, man. We got fucking Tigers baseball and Wings hockey going on. Oh, I was like, what the hell for a second? I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, I'm trying to get it to refocus.
Yeah, that's cool. What is that? Oh, you did Tanner. Oh, why aren't did the Tanner clinks look right on your screen?
In the chat bar, not in the box on stream.
Yeah, no, they're like broken links for the pictures. That's weird. Huh.
Yeah.
What's that about? That must be on their end. Could be something. I wonder. Well, yeah, but they've been streaming on Twitch though, actually. So, all right, whatever. Enough talk. Oh, you know. Oh, actually, real quick, I'm gonna go grab another beer and then we'll get going.
Yeah, I'm gonna refill my water. Actually.
Water? The hell.
Oh shit.
Huh. That's weird. I can't even. Huh. Yeah, whatever. I'm sure it's something I broke.
Probably.
You know. All right, let's go. All right, here we go.
We're sending a squad up.
Negative. We have a reactor leak here now. Give us a few minutes to lock it down. Large leak, very dangerous.
Who is this? What's your operating number?
Boring conversation anyway. Look, we're gonna have company!
Damn. Sorry. Sorry about the blast there from Han Solo. May have clipped a few speakers or headphones just there. What's up, everybody? Hello, we're live. What's up, everybody? From the one and only Motor City and Southwestern Ohio with episode number 114 of The Objective, a Battlefield podcast. I sincerely hope this podcast finds you well. It's been a fucking minute. It's been a minute. More than a month, I believe, right?
Oh, probably.
Yeah, probably. So back with another episode, as promised, keeping at it with quite a bit of stuff to talk about. If you are a Battlefield fan at all, and you've been following the news, there's been quite a lot to talk about the past few weeks. We meant to try to get on here and do this a little bit earlier, but some extenuating circumstances, some sickness, and other kind of things going on. Anyway, yeah. So I am, of course, your host, Dubfire33. Joining us, as always, is your host, the Southwestern Ohio part of the broadcast, your boy OSB. How you doing, man?
Better than I was, what was it, last week or whatever, when we originally tried to do this, or 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Boy, that's the sickest I've been in forever.
Really? Yeah. Yeah, that sucks, man. It's going around like that, man. It be being like that right now with some of the shit going around, man. Yeah, I had the fucking I was just saying too, like, to someone before, like, oh, when I get the flu, man, I've had the flu, I think, but, like, I never throw up. I don't really ever have much of a problem. Yeah, well, I fucking ate those words for sure, dude, because I got I had the stomach flu, something fierce, dude. It was a pretty brutal situation. If I wasn't in bed, I was in the bathroom. Like, let's just like put it like that. Yeah, and like for like 2 days. It was there is anytime I won't get into the details too much of it, but like it was a touch and go situation. Anytime you felt anything going on down there, it was a little it sucked. And the first day I felt like complete dog shit, like just the aches and feverish and shit like that. Yeah, so it was but it was like the stomach flu, pretty norovirus, like that's kind of the one. Sounds like you kind of had like just more of your kind of traditional flu, just fever and cough and just feeling like complete shit.
Oh, yeah, I felt like death for days.
Oh,
it was
man, dude.
Terrible. There was one day I came home from work early, it's 70 degrees outside, 75, whatever. All the windows are open. I'm on the couch in sweatpants and slippers, and I'm wearing a robe. I'm under a blanket, freezing my balls off.
Right, yeah. Oh, yeah, man. Yep, that's the fever, man. Yeah, that gets you.
Yeah, super fun.
But being the absolute fucking Chad that you are, this is kind of funny. Because you were, I think it was Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. I think it was Saturday evening. We had talked about maybe trying to do it, but you were still sick, and you said you're still feeling like shit. And the Australian Grand Prix, first race of the F1 season, was on, and I just happened to DM you to be like, because I'm curious if you're. I thought for sure I did not expect you to respond at all, but I thought I'll just DM him, see if he's watching the race, and of course he's like, of course I am. I might be sick, but hey, I'm committed. I was like absolute based Chad, fucking like on his deathbed, but still watching F1.
Yeah. Then I went to bed and died for several hours.
Yeah, I bet, dude. Yeah, so we'll get into a little bit of that. We'll cry about Ferrari later on in the episode when we get into a little bit of F1 at the end of the episodes. So if you're new to any of the episodes, any of you out there, we're gamers. We love Battlefield. We're also a couple of fucking motorsports stands. So we'll talk about a little bit of F1 at the end of the episode. But first, we are going to be talking about Battlefield. Battlefield leaks, as was illustrated from our open there. If you're a Star Wars fan, that's the original one there. That's back when they were making good Star Wars movies. Let's just leave it at that. But that's for another time. That's for a Junkie Boy night. Maybe a Junk Pup. Maybe him and I should do a Star Wars episode or something. Anyway, so let's I guess we'll just dive into it here, boys and girls. But before we do, real quick, if you're new to the podcast, thanks for listening. We broadcast live on Twitch at twitch.tv/dubfire33. So it'd be fucking awesome if you checked out my Twitch channel and hit the like button or the follow button. The like button belongs on YouTube. Speaking of which, we are live for the first time tonight on the YouTube. So it's an historic evening for our little podcast here, live on YouTube. Finally, been talking for months and months and months about finally about putting it together and getting it done, and finally sat down and just kind of worked everything out on OSB here, or OBS, to get the stream set up on the YouTube as well. So we are We are indeed multi-streaming to both platforms as we speak. So on YouTube, I don't know exactly how the YouTube thing works. You get kind of like like profile names similar to like the way you do on Twitter or X on YouTube. Like I'm at Dubfire33 on Twitter. On YouTube, we are at PTFO podcast. Play the fucking objective podcast. So I guess what you can just do is you can go to YouTube, and I guess if you search for PTFO podcast, that'll happen, or you can add us on YouTube at PTFO podcast. I don't know exactly how that works, but or you can just go to the YouTube, search for the objective of Battlefield podcast, and like and subscribe, please, to the channel there. Let's get this channel rolling as we roll along to the release of this game here sometime in 2026. Nope. What's up, sir? How you doing, man? Thank you for stopping in, sir. Yo, good thing you were real excited to get that yo in there. You were just hammering that P key. Like,
let's go.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So that's that. If you're new to the podcast, that's the live show stuff. If you ever want to hang out and check out the recording of the podcast live, that's where you can find us. Yeah. So without further ado, let's get into it a little bit here. Yeah. I was gonna say before we do, for those you regular listeners, Evan and I yapped about what other games we've been playing recently, and have you gotten into? Okay, so sorry. One more thing, and then I promise we're going to talk about Battlefield, because I haven't talked to Evan in a minute. Have you played any more God of War?
I've put like 9 hours into it.
Okay,
it's not grabbing me, to be honest.
No, 9 hours is a pretty good amount.
The gameplay's a little slow. The combat's a little slow for me. I haven't gone back to it in a while. I've been meaning to, but
yeah,
I don't know. It just didn't grab me. We'll see.
Have you gotten? Okay, fuck. Well, have you gotten another weapon besides the axe?
No, not yet.
Try to get to that point. Because it gets super interesting when you get the other weapon. And I mean, I guess I'm not spoiling it for you if I say what it is, because I mean, you know how the God of War games work, I guess, right?
Sure.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
So, the Chains of Olympus or whatever.
What's that again?
The Chains of Olympus, is that what they're called?
They are in the game, which you probably already knew because the game's been out for a million years, so I guess that's not really a spoiler. But it gets pretty fun when you get those. For me, that was like a super exciting thing because I had never played the old games, but I knew that like those were like his go-to weapons.
Right.
So it was a really fun point in the game when that happens. I was like, oh, that's fucking cool. Like, okay, yeah, I get to. So I was like, okay. I didn't know what to expect, but it was just like, okay. I mean, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Those are going to be in this game, right? So yeah. Anyway, but I know what you. I know what you mean about the combat. It is a little bit slow. I mean, I guess I don't think increasing the difficulty would necessarily make it speed up the combat. It would just make the combat harder, right? Yeah, exactly. More challenging, yeah. So, but it is a bit of a slow style kind of combat with like the shield, you time the parries and then you get to counterattack and the abilities and stuff like that. Yeah. So I mean, I guess I suppose, well, like, is it? You played a Ghost of Tsushima, so it's like Ghost of Tsushima combat, like more kind of like the pace you're like would prefer.
It's more fluid, I think, is the thing. It's a little more. You can switch between different combat stances or heavy and light attacks a little quicker, a little more fluid.
I got you. Yeah, I got you. Okay, that makes sense. Cool. Anyway, that's still cool though. Yeah, I really liked that game, and I might actually play Ragnarok like someday, but we'll see. All right, so that's it, boys and girls. Let's move on to Well, we're all here to talk about Battlefield and not Battlefield 2042. Let's be clear about that. I still have it installed, and I was playing it again there for a little bit, but I have not revisited it actually myself. So, all right, yeah. So we are here to talk about tonight the news and actually not news. There actually hasn't been any official news from DICE about this game, right? Basically,
Correct.
all we're going to be talking about are leaks, right? Yeah, so
yeah, everything is a leak.
yeah, all this stuff is a leak, which most of which surfaced on Twitter like about 3 weeks ago or so, 3 or 4 weeks ago. A bunch of like random people. I don't think it matters that we don't necessarily know exactly who most of these people are, but basically we figured mostly this was a lot of stuff that were people that were play testing and just decided to, fuck around and like completely ignore any kind of whatever agreement they may have signed on to to not reveal this stuff. And guess what? They didn't give a flying F about that, and they posted a whole bunch of stuff. There's like about 6 or 7 different videos of all kinds of gameplay from the playtesting. So a lot of stuff to look at. So we just figured we'd kind of course, unfortunately for those, if anyone's here watching live, we're definitely not going to play any of this stuff live. We're not gonna show any of this stuff on the stream. Definitely not interested in Electronic Arts sending their considerable legal team to my house to assassinate myself or OSB because we're playing. Although, like we were saying earlier, all this stuff is still up on Twitter, which is pretty kind of wild.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
I didn't expect that at all.
No, I mean, like, yeah, I'm going into our DMs. I was like, you DM'd me the links to all the videos and stuff. And I mean, I guess I kind of figured some of them would still be up there, but I didn't expect every single one of them is still up there, including links that you DM'd in the Discord to me. So it's like, yeah. So, I mean, it's like, but I guess if you think about it, perhaps it's not entirely surprising. Perhaps Electronic Arts and DICE kind of like thought to themselves like, well, like maybe let's not be dicks about this, right? Like we kind of need to garner some goodwill with the community, right?
Yeah.
So it's like,
I wonder honestly if these just came from DICE and they sent this shit out to leakers or whatever.
Oh, there you go.
Considering it's still up.
Black helicopter. I wish I had the black helicopters drop. Black helicopters. Yeah, you could be onto something there, actually. That could be, yeah, I mean, that's definitely a bit of a black helicopters kind of take, but it wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'll go get my tinfoil real quick.
Okay, yeah, make sure you
make a nice hat. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, yeah, maybe, because, again, like I said, either it, the stuff was all leaked and their thought process was like, yeah, let's not be assholes about this and like say that we're pursuing people for leaking out, because like, again, need to garner some goodwill, or yeah, it's like, hey, like, leaks are one of the things that gets people talking about the game, and it kind of gets people excited about stuff. So let's just like, yeah, get it out there. Maybe they did. So anyway, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna kind of take a gander at some of these. I was gonna go to the ones in the Twitter DMs first.
Okay.
And start with where we got here. The one for I think the let me just hold on. Let's go back to the DMs. And that I think the very first one is the one with the 4 different videos in the one frame.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and you can pop these out, which is kind of cool. I'm going to start with the top left.
Yep.
So,
okay.
let's just kind of take a look here. I'm gonna pop it out, and you will hear some audio. So we're looking at this. Looks like, yeah. So they're in the spawn screen, and oh, you know what I just noticed too? That font looks really nice, actually. If you look at
the font and stuff, I don't know how much stock I would put into that yet. It is nice text.
Yeah.
It's not like fucking 2042's garbage.
No, not even close. It's actually, yeah, it's I'm not a fucking graphic artist, so I have no fucking clue what it's sans serif. I don't know. No, it's not. I don't know what the fuck it is, but I know every fucking font has like a name, right? So, but it's nice. It's got that it's a taller style, and it's nothing particularly. It's just very easy to read and clean looking, and I really dig it, actually. So I hope that's what they stick with. I really hope that's what they stick with. The spawn screen. So we're looking at a spawn screen. Look, looks pretty similar to Battlefield 2042 right now. The mini. Oh, if you notice too, the mini map. Like there's buildings, but there's like no textures whatsoever on the mini map there. Or not. Sorry, the mini.
Yeah.
The overhead view of the map. So, all right, I'm gonna keep playing.
Yeah, there's nothing there, but you do get the little picture-in-picture of what whoever you're spawning on is looking at, which is nice. I've missed that.
Yeah, for sure.
Spawn into death, maybe.
So in this gameplay is showing it looks like something. One of the things that I noticed like right away was how like much it really looks a lot like Battlefield 3. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
everything about like this looks like this. I mean, the gameplay of this map looks like something right out of Battlefield 3. From I can't remember which expansion it is that had like the market or whatever.
Oh yeah, fuck, I can't remember anymore.
I know, I can't remember. Probably should have actually did some show notes, like maybe wrote some of that stuff down. But in any case, it just has a real Battlefield 3 vibe for sure, because it's in it's in a bombed out Middle Eastern city, which is what a lot of Battlefield 3 maps really kind of revolved around. I mean, I guess outside of like Caspian Border and like Firestorm, but yeah. So,
absolutely the worst gameplay I've ever seen. Whoever this is should feel bad.
Yes, they should. Yeah, that was pretty terrible. Yeah, so that was that one. I don't know. This one, I've got the volume up, and I'm not getting any audio out of this one. That's weird. Probably something on my end, of course. Fuck audio. Yeah, so and this one's just got a guy running around. Looks like an M14 with part of the gun missing, actually. But again, this is straight up alpha, internal testing gameplay. So
yeah, I would expect stuff like that to be kind of broken at this point,
for sure,
because it doesn't really matter. The fundamentals shit. Like there's a building popping in one of the videos, so
right?
It's kind of whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I really do like some of the info, like on death. I like there's kind of, I like where they, I feel like a lot of this is obviously like pretty good concept for what they plan on doing as the game moves forward. But they already like have just really done a much better job with like the information on the screen and like where it's placed and the font. Yeah. And the way it kind of like blends in with the screen, and it doesn't blend in. Yeah.
I feel, and I'm sure it'll change, the info kind of down in your bottom right side with your weapons and shit could be a little streamlined in game. Right. I'm sure it's still pretty early on, but that could be a little cleaner, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Some minor changes, but again, it's so early.
Is this one okay? Are all these 4 videos just kind of like the same thing, or?
No, one of them's in a tank.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. I'm gonna go to the top right one now. And again, this one's fucking 2 minutes. This fucking video is okay. Yeah, it kind of continues. Oh yeah, some of them just kind of okay. Yeah, so now I'm at the point where the guy's in a tank. So, you look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, it looks pretty it's definitely, a lot of this stuff is definitely like you can tell that they absolutely overhauled a lot of stuff from 2042. Like
Yes.
I'm sure the base of what they were doing was a lot of the 2042 designs and architecture, if you will, for some of this stuff, but you can tell they didn't keep much of what 2042 had.
Yeah.
Like, this looks very different. Like, it really looks like they put some work into like updating this, thinking about like the way it looks and where it's placed. Yeah, it's kind of nice.
Well, yeah, it's
So-
because there's only been like 3 interns on 2042 basically since launch. So everyone else was already working on this.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
They've had some time. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, they've had a lot of people working on this game. Yeah, basically for a long time, probably. So yeah, when the zoom in on the tank looks pretty typical. Looks way more Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4ish too, for sure. So yeah, definitely. Looking, yeah, so far, I mean, like I said, so far a lot of the stuff looking pretty good. So all right, so I'm gonna go to the bottom right one now and take a look at what's going on there. Where's all my audio? Darn it, I had audio. That's so weird. Bottom left? Does this one have audio? Just earlier, the audio for this one was playing in my ears, actually. Oh, I know why, because I've got, there we go. Let's just have, fuck audio, gosh damn it, because I've got all these different channels. I completely forgot that my Firefox window is on this channel, but of course, so the music's playing too, so whatever. Anyway, we don't have to have the audio playing for this anyway. But anyway, all right, so let's move on from this video. Get back in the DM. So down, the next one down that you sent me from @Battlefield 6 News.
Yeah.
Oh, this is an interesting one. So this is the one that
Yeah.
shows you getting shot by a sniper rifle. So according to this tweet from @Battlefield 6 News, getting shot by a bolt-action sniper rifle will send you flying in the new, and flying backwards specifically is what they mean. And so what this video shows, this guy just kind of running along, just kind of trying to get into the fight. He's shooting at someone, and then bam, he's dead, and his body is flying backwards and like lands on its back. And so supposedly that's because he was shot by a bolt-action sniper rifle. Gameplay-wise, I mean, it doesn't particularly affect anything gameplay-wise because you're dead, right? But still a very neat little effect, or thing to add to the game.
Yeah, as long as it only does that on death. I don't want to
Right.
get chest shotted and get thrown back 15 feet and have 20 health left or whatever. That would get really annoying over time.
Yes,
If
one,
I'm
yeah,
dead, okay, fine. I went flying.
exactly, yeah, 1000%. They better not fucking get cute. They better not get cute. Yeah, and try to add that as to some kind of like, movement thing in the game or whatever. Not movement thing, but you know what I mean, like some sort of, yeah. They better not get cute.
Animation or
Animation,
whatever,
thank you, yeah. It's by, if you get shot but not killed by a bolt action sniper rifle and like have your character getting like thrown backwards, yeah. They which I'm guessing they probably won't, but yeah, they just, if you're listening to this, if you're listening to our voices, Dice, don't get cute and try doing shit like that. Very cool animation for on death kind of thing, but yeah, absolutely better not be part of like normal gameplay. And then the next one down from Battlefield 6 News is a 3-minute gameplay. And I'm going to turn the audio up for this one because this one, I believe, has some
you can drag your squad mate, at least squad mates. I assume other players if you're a medic.
It's showing
around cover.
Yep, it's showing squad mates getting dragged. and I believe it's in it. This one features some voice from like your in-game narrator or whatever.
Yeah, that's been a rumor coming to the series since I think 5. They've been talking about adding dragging.
Right, yeah.
To down players. So that's cool to see. We'll see how impactful it really is.
Yeah. Yeah, so this gameplay is just of someone definitely a little bit better than the last person we were watching.
Well, that's not hard to do.
No. Just kind of, but I mean, I'll give him credit where credit's due for an alpha build of the game and internal testing purposes. Like, you know, things are looking okay. You know, like the map design looks more like what. Oh, sorry. Oh shoot, I wanted to listen to that voice. So take a. So that voice right there. So there it was again. So the thing I noticed about the female voiceover, it sounds very similar to like the way they did the voiceover for actually Battlefield 2, which, you know, it's going way back. And of course in Battlefield 2, like it definitely wasn't as clear as that, but it actually, I feel like someone at DICE actually did say like, hey, let's like go back to Battlefield 2 and kind of look at some of the things we did for like, you know, in-game immersion type stuff, because that voice actually just sounds very similar to like to the female voice that was in Battlefield 2. So I just noticed that myself, and I thought that was actually kind of cool because Battlefield 2 itself actually had, I mean, gameplay wise, it was still, you know, I don't even know. I don't even think I could go back and play it because it's like it's not much better than like Battlefield 1942, the original Battlefield game, you know, because back then it's like, you know, they just hadn't come for all the like quality. There was like a ton of quality of life improvements, you know, in Battlefield 2 over 1942 and Battlefield Vietnam, you know. But in terms of movement and gameplay and stuff like that, it still left like quite a lot to be desired still back then, you know what I mean? So, but like I was saying, quality of life things like, you know, there was the UAV call-ins and stuff like that, and there was the artillery call-ins and all that kind. There was the commander mode and stuff like that, and it had. There was the narrator voices in 42 and in Vietnam as well, and they were done fairly well. You know, but like Battlefield 2, like really did it in more of a realistic way. Like you've heard like I said, again, the female voice, it came over it sounded like it was coming, you know, like it was coming through a radio, you know, and they used just sort of more concise and you know, a realistic military speak when they did it, you know. Battlefield 1942 had a lot of like, you know, it's kind of like we got them on the run. Like if you were the if you were American forces, you heard some American guy go, "We got them on the run." If it was British forces, I don't know, whatever, you know, they still would use particular military terms, and they did the same thing in Vietnam, that kind of, you know, just that kind of thing. But in Battlefield 2, yeah, they really kind of like did a better job with making it feel more like you know, you were taking part of you're taking part in a military operation and stuff like that. And they've done, and of course they've done that going forward from Battlefield 2. But in this particular, I just like that. I hope that same female voice actually ends up in the final version of the game, because it's really got that kind of Battlefield 2 kind of vibe for me. Anyway, so what else do we got here? So that one's pretty cool. That one's got a lot of cool info. The 3-minute one. That's the last one in the DMs. I feel in the Discord, there's a couple different ones in the Discord, right?
There's
I think are all the same ones.
To a subreddit. Yeah, there are a couple more.
Yeah.
videos, I think.
Oh yeah, okay. So the first two that you DM'd me on March 7th, there, yeah. So these are two interesting ones actually. So the first one here. Ooh, that's loud. Oh, cool. Oh yeah, this one's got a lot of the voice.
We're moving on objective Bravo.
It's got the closing and opening sound of the radio. The kill info off to the left of the screen is nice looking too, right?
Yeah.
Off to the left, right? Yeah.
Everything's got a fairly clean aesthetic to it.
Yes.
At this point.
Yeah.
It reminds me of a combination of the UI for like 3 and 1. A lot. The way everything's kind of placed gives me some BF1 vibes.
Yes, dude.
Some of the text almost itself kind of does too.
What? Yes, 100%, dude. I knew that I knew there was something. You're right. Something was like kind of like picking at my brain. Like something feels familiar about this, and you're 100% right. It is. I think they kind of took a lot of their cues from Battlefield 1. From this, from this UI stuff. You're right, 100%, dude. Yeah, so this one's got some. Okay, so that one's got more of the voiceover, which is cool. And then the second one. Okay, so let's talk about the second one a little bit here, because the second one depicts the D word, some destruction. So now we're not gonna get like too crazy talking about it because obviously we know nothing about how the destruction in this game is going to work. I would guess most, our expectations would be, or most of the community's expectations would be that like, okay, they're going to go back to the way it was, like say in 3 and 4, and or even in 1 and 5, right? Because that's the Battlefield destruction that we're used to. So if we play this one, I'm going to start it now. This one shows a rocket being fired into the side of a building, and like almost the entire front of the building falling off into the street. So, I mean, I don't know,
I'm hoping that building was already weakened, because if you can destroy every single building in one rocket, why even bother putting the buildings on the map? Because they'll be gone almost instantly.
Yes, excellent point. Very good point. Yeah, I would hope to think that that was the case as well. It doesn't seem that way. It doesn't seem like that there was much damage on that building. But perhaps they'll do something a bit dynamic. Maybe there'll be like a couple of buildings that are just already weak, and those ones are gonna, so if you put the rocket into that particular building, the facade of that one's gone instantly. But then every other building, like you're talking about, like should have the health, so to speak. I guess, I've never really thought about it like that, but like the buildings, at least they had some sort of health total, right, so to speak.
You have to.
Yeah, exactly. Like, because you did have to. I remember. Well, didn't like I mean, if it was a small enough building, if it was like a smaller building, like basically would, certain buildings, one tank shell would essentially destroy the entirety of like a wall. Yeah, for smaller buildings. Yeah, and that would be a tank shell. Rockets, on the other hand, might not necessarily destroy it with one, say, RPG or what do you call the or not the MRAD, whatever the American rocket launcher was called. I can't think of off the top of my head. But so that's a good point. So tank shells probably are gonna like destroy walls instantly, but like rockets should take a couple of few at least or something. Yeah, stuff like that. So we'll see there. All right, so what else do we got there in the Discord? And then we got there's the tank gameplay.
Oh, that's just a screenshot.
Oh, that's right. Those are just the screenshots.
Next one down's the video.
Yeah,
I think this is end of round stuff.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, this one's kind of interesting. Yep, shows a victory screen. Again, pretty good font. It's essentially, so this end of round, it looks very similar to 2042, with a little bit different aesthetic kind of stuff going on to it.
Yeah,
but
the top squad, little everybody kind of standing there, reminds me more of almost Battlefield 5 in the way everyone's kind of walking around. Because in 2042 they just kind of stand there. I think they did that in BF1 as well, but this has kind of got a little, I don't know, animation to it or whatever. They're actively kind of doing something as they walk up. Oh, best squad, whatever.
Yeah, it looks. Yeah, you're right. It does resemble like 5 a little bit more. Yeah, for sure. So, yeah. So there's all that good stuff there. So that's the leaked videos that we got. I don't think there's any more leaked videos since these ones.
Not that I've seen, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure not. But that's not the end of the leaks, though. So I don't know if you listened to this podcast, a year more than a year and a half ago, when we were talking about, when we were kind of talking about the build up to Battlefield 2042. You may recall a particular Twitter handle called Twitter handle Temporal. Temporal. Wait, am I saying? Fuck. I'm saying it right. I know I'm saying it right. Temporal. I'm not saying it right at all, actually. Where'd it go? Gosh darn, I meant to. All right, I lost Twitter. That was dumb. Temporal. Temporals, I think is how it's pronounced. And that was always one of the problems we had with it, because for the longest time I thought it said temp royal, but it's temporal. Yeah, it's like temporal. Anyway, our friendly neighborhood, one of like our most reliable friendly neighborhood data miners, has seemingly like just kind of like come back from the dead. Did you happen to look a little bit closer at his account by the way?
I did
on Twitter
a little bit. This is like basically the first time he's really said anything in years.
Exactly. Yeah, like 2 years. He popped up on the noties, or not the noties, but necessarily, but no, I think he did actually, or like I think he popped up in my trending, which would make sense because like everything I follow on Twitter is basically either Battlefield or sports. Yeah, and I was like, holy shit, fucking Temporal, like fucking posted something. And then I went into his posts, and if you go, so he's got some recent ones. So you go from his like recent one, and then if you go to like the last time he posted before then, February 26, 2023, like more than 2 years ago. Yeah. So like bro just like fell off the face of the earth, and then like I guess got the itch because, new Battlefield game. And and so he's back to doing his little thing. Although he did have a actually one of the very first things he tweeted was on a personal note, he says, "This is not the start of a new data mining journey with frequent updates on every aspect of the game, but rather a brief nostalgia trip for the good old days." So whatever you want to call it, temporal, that's, even if you're just going to do that, that's cool with us because, he's already churned out, quite a lot of interesting information. One of which being, references to primary and secondary weapons in the Battlefield playtest client, which he posted a nice little graphic of, which he was always want to do back in the day. And didn't I think Danny on PC or someone posted they counted something like 40 plus weapons listed here, right?
It was Ghost Gaming, I think.
Yeah, Ghost Gaming, thank you.
Yeah, Ghost Gaming did 47 weapons, they're probably not all going to be there at launch, which sucks, but that's kind of just how things are anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a surprising amount of weapons in most of the categories. Some of them are a little smaller, but that may go for a specific class, and that's just their weapons, because we don't know how that's going to work yet either. I'm kind of under the assumption it's more of a traditional Battlefield. Certain classes get certain weapons type
Right.
of deal.
Yep. I would not be upset at all if they went to the Battlefield 4 system. I really liked the Battlefield 4 system, where like that's kind of how this list is laid out a little bit if you look at it.
A little bit.
Yeah, so because you got your assault rifles, which of course would be for your assault class, your carbines, which is like your engineers, PDW SMGs, LMGs, bolt actions. So like in Battlefield 4, when the carbines were the ones that were available to every class.
Yes, it was carbines, DMRs, and shotguns, I think, were all kit weapons.
Yes. But then assault rifles, SMGs, LMGs, like those were specific to the assault rifles, obviously assault, SMGs to engineers, LMGs for support, and then bolt action sniper rifles for recon. Yeah. And then but your designated marksman rifles, your carbines, shotguns, and secondary weapons could be used by every class. I would not be upset one bit if they went back to that kind of system. I kind of dug that system personally. So, we're not gonna. I mean, we can. I mean, obviously, you got your classics. Your well, they don't Scar L. They don't
There's
have
2 Scars. There's G36 and a G3, which is pretty neat. Those are cool guns. L85, which I liked it in BF4. We'll see how it is in this game. There's an UMP. Your SMGs you'd kind of expect: MP5, MP7, P90, all that.
P90, UMP40, Vector,
M60, 249, RPKs. So what you would kind of expect to be there is there.
Yes.
And then a 1911 in Spirit under a different name, which good, because every Battlefield game should have a 1911.
Oh,
because it works.
100%. What's the the Raging Hunter? Is that?
No, M45A1. That has to be.
Yeah.
Has to be a 1911.
Yeah, that's right. Because it's a 45 caliber, right? Yeah. So.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. The thing that's interesting to me is the Scar SC. Is that a Scar version you've seen in other Battlefield games, or like a Scar? I don't know if I've ever seen a Scar carbine before, actually.
It might have been called maybe like a Scar L in other games.
Well, they've got Scar L listed under assault rifle on it.
You're right.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if it's like, I'm trying to think of some other kind of like version of a Scar receiver that's been in other games that was a carbine and an assault rifle. That's interesting. The SG553, I dug that carbine as well, actually. So an H32. I don't know. I mean, there's going to be an AK in the game and all that. Yeah. So, I mean, whatever, all these things. So all your kind of like, all the ones that we would expect to see in a Battlefield game. And then, and then some other guns, which should be fun. So, yeah, so that's pretty interesting. And then he's also got a little list of fighter and attack jets, which actually he just posted this one very recently. And according to Temporal, looks like we're looking at an F-22 for fighter role. So actually, according to this, there's a fighter role and then an attack role, which I suppose would mean something more like your obviously the Su-57 is in the F-22. So I guess they're gonna act like more of a ground to air kind of thing.
They're gonna be air to air.
The fighter role will be.
Yeah,
Okay.
they have to be. An F-22 is a air superiority fighter. Same thing with an Su-57.
Oh, they are. Oh, yeah, they are. That's true. But an F-16 is as well, isn't it?
Is too.
Yeah.
And then the JS-39 Gripen doesn't make a lot of sense to be on, I'm assuming, Russian sides, because that's a Swedish aircraft. I think it's a Saab.
Oh, is it? Really? Okay.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's definitely a NATO craft, though, so that doesn't make a ton of sense to me. I don't know why they wouldn't use like a Su-34 or something. And
right. I gotcha.
An A-10. I don't know. Those don't make a ton of sense to me, but
yeah,
that's all subject to change. They might have just had that sitting around too, for all we know.
Exactly. And this is obviously too incredibly preliminary, right? I mean, this is very preliminary kind of information from Temporal. So yeah. So this is all very, very subject to change for sure. So so there's that. And then I don't know if you happen to see the most recent video from Enders. But I was checking that out, and where is it here? Yeah, so I had no idea any of these leaks existed until I happened upon Ender's channel to check out his latest video. If you don't follow Enders, follow him on YouTube, of course. Twitch.tv/Enders. You can follow him on Twitch if you like there too. He is... If you like Battlefield and you don't know who he is yet, you should absolutely be following his channel on YouTube for sure. He posts videos at least like once a week, basically, talking about Battlefield and all that kind of stuff. And so I guess there was a whole another kind of round of like kind of smaller leaks of concept art for maps. So it was like for maps. Some faction cosmetics and attachments and stuff like that. Have you did you go to his channel by any chance here?
Yeah, I can.
Well, I mean, yeah, you don't have to necessarily, but it is pretty interesting actually. There's a whole, so I guess in another subreddit, a whole bunch of stuff was leaked. Now, the disclaimer on this was that he actually wasn't even particularly certain that any of this stuff is actually leaked material out of DICE or from Electronic Arts or whatever. So I'm kind of thinking it is, though. I got it. If you go to 116, that's kind of where he starts showing the concept art and stuff.
Yeah, I'm kind of clicking through them.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I can see them being real, but man, anymore, who fucking knows?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. We'll go to 116, and then let's let me know when you're at 116, and let's hit play.
I'm ready.
Okay, hit play. And so it'll just keep. So we're looking at like a mountain scene here. The thing I noticed about this particular bit of art, it would be easy to say like, oh, it looks like AI, but it actually doesn't to me. AI has got like those telltale things where like the hands look super weird, or like certain things just look off. The art in that particular picture looks 100% to me like it was drawn by hand in a program. It it's like a rough drawing. Because if you looked at that one soldier, like his, he basically his face didn't have any features on it. But, and I've got an ad, of course.
Imagine not having YouTube Premium.
Oh, I didn't even know there was such a thing as YouTube Premium.
Oh, it's so fucking worth it.
Well,
I hate subscription services. It's the best one I've ever had.
All right.
Easily.
I'll have to think about that. All right, so I'm at 210. And the images here are of a battle scene in the middle of New York City. Actually, I'm going to pause it at 2:15. So the scene at 2:15, I suppose I could be showing this on screen actually, but if you want to just, but you know what, I would rather not show it on screen because this is Ender's content. So if you want to kind of like see this for yourself, you know, go check out Ender's channel. And you know, for people that listening on the podcast, it doesn't matter anyway. So, but in any case, so the scene we're looking at here on Ender's video at 2:15 is a scene of a battle taking place, like basically in the middle of New York, with the Brooklyn Bridge in the background. There's a sign on the left that says 545 West 112th Street. I don't know where that is exactly in New York, but well, I suppose this would be like East Manhattanish kind of area, because like if you go east in Manhattan, that's Brooklyn is basically to the east of like the Manhattan Island area. So yeah, interesting. And so specifically the artwork for this concept art supposedly is concept art for maps, for where some of the new maps are going to be. So that's like the big speculation about this, is that we could be looking at like where, you know, we could be looking at what, you know, the settings for some of the upcoming maps. So, all right, here we go. Let's keep going here. All right.
According to a quick Google search, yes, that is in Manhattan off of Broadway, kind of down the street from Columbia University.
Oh, there you go. Okay. So yeah, and you have the Brooklyn Bridge is like clearly in view in the background. So yeah. All right, I'm gonna hit play from 2:15. All right, so still looking at that particular scene, and I think the next scene we get, if I go for, oh yeah, okay, so if you jump to like say 2:50, now we got a scene that looks like it's a battle taking place in Los Angeles, California.
Well, this could just be a real photo of LA on fire too. That's not out of the question.
I was just gonna say, yeah, exactly. There's fires raging through Los Angeles County in California, exactly. So this is clearly just like a real picture, right? Yeah. So there's palm trees on fire, there's houses on fire. So again, the big speculation here being that we could be looking at getting some maps taking place on North American soil, which has not happened in ages. I mean, like we've talked about this before. The two that stand out to me was the last, not the last expansion, the second to last expansion for Battlefield 2. It was called Armored Assault or something like that. And it was two maps. There was two maps that were set in the United States. So, and I'm outside of that, I can't, off the top of my head, I can't think of any other maps that there aren't even any in 2042. Actually,
no.
Unless the one is in Alaska. Oh, no. Sorry, yes, the one Breakaway. Breakaway takes place in Alaska, right?
No, that's Antarctica.
Oh, it's Antarctica. No, that's right.
Oh God, what's the one on the side of the mountain? That's in Canada.
Exposure. Yeah.
Yes.
Exposure's in Canada.
That's Canada.
Yeah. So hopefully, like Anders was saying in the video too, and I agree with him. Like, I really hope that this stuff is real, and we are going to get to see some maps with the setting. If you go to, once you get past that image and you get to around like 3-minute 10 mark, this is interesting. So if anyone is a golf fan, you might recognize this golf course. This is, of course, Riviera Country Club, which is like sort of the exclusive golf course right in Los Angeles, basically, like kind of right down, next to downtown Los Angeles. You can see what looks like downtown Los Angeles in the background, and it's kind of cool looking. There's basically an assault taking place of Apache helicopters flying over it, and there's like a little battalion of tanks tearing up the golf course. So that would actually be really fucking cool if they create a map that actually looks like this. This is pretty cool, actually. All right, I'm gonna jump to like 340. Oh yeah, okay. So if you jump to like 340, 345 area, are you looking at that one?
Yeah, the guy with the rifle.
Yep. Yeah.
Rifle,
So
DMR, whatever.
the speculation on this one was that this could be a scene from the Battle Royale map. So that's another thing that we have not really talked too much about yet, is the fact that there's going to be a Battle Royale for this game. Like we have, we've done our last few podcasts that we have done, be it as few as they are. We've been talking about this game. We've been talking about the build-up, in the news about this game. You and I have not discussed the fact that there's going to be a battle royale in this game, which is going to be a little bit of a point of contention for the podcast. If you're kind of new to the podcast, tell us how you feel about battle royales, OSB.
Oh, I'm simply not going to play it, is what's going to happen. Yeah. I might play it once to say I did, but yeah,
right. So
that's not happening. I don't like them. So yeah,
OSB is not a fan.
Interesting. Yeah, it's
exactly.
the worst thing to happen to FPS games in the history of gaming. Yeah, so that'll be fun to see how that plays out. If those rumors are true, which they probably are, they almost have to be. Yeah,
I mean at this point, yeah, exactly. So, yeah, so that's the interesting thing about this image. And the thing about this image, it's like, I mean, fuck, this might as well like be an image from Call of Duty, because it's the desert. There's some buildings. There's some solar panels in the background. There's shit on fire. So like, okay, cool. Like, yeah, so it's like kind of just it's a battle royale map. I guess that's it's pretty typical. When you get to about the 4-minute 15 seconds mark, actually, this is actually Los Angeles as well. So in this image, we see some soldiers in rib boats. The like those kind of like assault boats that look like inflatable boats, but I don't think they actually are inflatable. Oh, I guess
that I don't know.
Well, the sides of them are like the outer parts of them. I think are actually like
the pontoon, basically.
Yeah, there you go, exactly. So, and so it's a couple different. It's a couple different boats with soldiers in them, and they're cruising down some very destroyed part of Los Angeles. And in fact, there's a traffic or like a street sign half submerged in the water, but you can clearly make out that it says Sunset Boulevard. So again, this is in Los Angeles as well. So, and then there's an image. If you jump to about 5-minute mark, there's an image of a guy in a very tight corridor. So Enders was talking about this being like pretty clearly some indication of the some CQC kind of stuff going on. And then as we go forward in the video, the images become like kind of just actually very generic, so to speak. Some pictures of like tanks and more like Middle Eastern China's. Actually, if you get to like the 6-minute 10-second mark, this looks a little bit more like it could be probably more like sort of European kind of theater, maybe. Yeah, looks like something like kind of in probably like what do you call Ukraine, Ukraine/Russia kind of region.
Maybe sections of France or Spain, maybe.
Actually, if I wanted to sort of really kind of pinpoint the geography of it, something more like on the border with like Switzerland and Italy, because those could be like the Alps in the background. Yeah, so yeah, stuff like that. So we got that. We got more. If we jump up a little bit further, around 7 minutes. Actually, this looks. So if all this is in fact real, then I think we could say that this is definitely all concept art that they're basing the maps on, because if you jump up to the 7-minute mark, this image looks very much just like the gameplay we were seeing. This looks like the setting of the gameplay that we were watching. Yeah, so it's a bombed out Middle Eastern city. So yeah, and then more Middle Eastern kind of stuff. More buildings, Apache helicopters, oil fields. Yeah. And then there are some images of like a mini map and stuff. So okay, so here's the cosmetic stuff that was being talked about here. If you jump to like 9 minutes here. Yeah, you get like this looks interesting. So it's just a bunch of different depictions of different cosmetics on soldiers that all for some reason kind of remind me of Falk, actually. For some reason, I don't know why.
A lot,
right? Yeah, it's I think it's like pretty clearly like a female model that's depicted in all these different pictures, but it just shows a lot of different cosmetics of military attire. Some ghillie stuff, some desert stuff, some tactical helmets and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's kind of interesting. Nothing, nothing too crazy to go on there. Yeah, and supposedly it says something. He says something about attachments, and then it says something about
about 11 minutes.
Oh, 11 minutes. Okay. Oh, he's got some more gameplay, and then here we go. Okay, yeah. Oh, okay. Holy
From
crap!
Sluts of Battlefield. Nice.
Okay, interesting. This is the first time I've ever heard of that content creator, whatever that's supposed to be. Sluts of Battlefield. Okay. Okay, so basically this is all right. So this is just a big list of like. So there's flash hiders, grips, grip pods, lasers, magazines, muzzle brakes, reflex sights, stubby grips, suppressors, sniper optics, thermal, all this kind of stuff. And it looks, I don't even know, some of this stuff doesn't even look like English. So I'm not even about to like list like the specific things that are listed in each of these categories, because a lot of this, I don't even, whoever Sluts of Battlefield looks like they may be from like Sweden or something.
What I find interesting looking at this is in the magazines. I don't know, because there's like PMag 20, 30, and 40. Are those extended mags? Are they just lighter weight? Can you get a smaller magazine that maybe you can reload faster? There could be some interesting things that come out of that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely.
But like we've been saying, it's all way too fucking early to take anything seriously. But
yeah, exactly.
There's some things to kind of look at and maybe think about, see what might happen in the future.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, 2042. If you think about it, like 2042 was actually like that was the first one that DICE even offered any kind of magazine options, right? Yeah. There were no magazine options.
There was in 5.
There was in 5.
There's specializations. You could either
do
extended mags or maybe a detachable mag.
That's
on
right.
Certain guns.
That's right. Yeah. So thank you. So
I don't think there was anything in 4 or 3.
No, but yeah, you're right in 5. But you're right. They did it through the specialization stuff. So 2042 was the first time where they really kind of did it like COD style. Let's like call it COD style, right? Yeah. So hopefully they'll expand on that for sure in this one, because it definitely could use expanding on. Yeah. So we'll keep an eye on that for sure. And see what things get weeded out and see what things make it in the game. And as we find out all this, right? This is all very, very, very raw stuff. Obviously, it's like data mine stuff from the playtest client, as Temporal said, stuff like that. So a lot of all this information will get refined as more and more leaks, right? Yeah. So
this Justin is saying in YouTube chat, it's got to. I feel like it's got to have Delta Force style customization or it's going to feel dated. Yes, but not as hard as Delta Force went, because that shit's almost overwhelming when you look at it. There, you can go pretty crazy. I would go more.
Oh, okay.
More Call of Duty like MW19 over Delta Force, just because there's so much shit on screen that you're looking at when you're setting stuff up in Delta Force. I don't want to say it's overwhelming, but there's a lot.
It is not. It is a little bit. That was one of the things that kind of turned me off about it too. Like, I really didn't want to sit there. I didn't want to sit and stare at my weapon customization for like 15 minutes because I could attach a left grip and a right grip angle, and I could attach a grip on the top, and then I could attach what mag pull thing do I want to attach to my magazine? What, you know what I mean? Yeah.
How many lasers do you want? It went a little too far the other direction.
Exactly. And this Justin, of course, friend of the pod, pillar of the community, of course. What's up, Justin? How you doing, man? And I get what you're getting at, this Justin, for sure. But I don't want, exactly, like, I agree with OSB. I don't want them to get as granular as they got in Delta Force. Absolutely, like, definitely make it so there's at least like 7 different options. I talked about this before. I actually talked about this, I think, either before 2042 or like kind of in mid 2042. They absolutely, you're right. They need, so in 2042 there was only 4 things you could change about the gun. It was your muzzle, your underbarrel grip, your magazine, and your sight. Like, that was it. And I recall this exactly now. I think they need to keep the plus system in the game. Perhaps they can figure out a way to expand on the plus system so that you can change multiple, more than 4 things in the middle of a game. Or what you do is you do make it so that there's at least 7 to 8 options that you can change on your gun, but you can pick which ones you want to be in the plus system so that you can change them out in game with the plus system. So there's a total of 8 things you can change about your gun, but you can't have 8 things in the plus system in game. So either they decide which things in the plus system can be used, or you can make it a user customization thing, and I can pick what goes into the plus system so that I can use the plus system in game to change what I want to change. Following me there? Yeah. I mean,
yeah, that makes sense, because I like the plus system. It's a little underwhelming because the game itself is underwhelming.
Well, yeah, we're talking about 2042. Exactly. So yeah.
But being able to put, okay, I want to have 5 different sites available and only 2 magazines and a different grip or something along those lines could change it up to where, okay, you can set this up for how you're going to play this. Do you want to be kind of a jack of all trades? Do you want to specialize in just getting up close and personal? Do you just want to sit back and kind of lob rounds downrange? There's a lot of opportunities that can be had with something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. With that kind of customization, bring what you want into the plus system in game. Yeah, you could, like, on top of what your other things what your class can do, and I mean, it's just it gives you that feeling like I can really feel like I can try to be a little bit more effective in certain situations. We can get granular with how we want to approach certain situations, without having to have gadgets like we did in 2042, right? Yeah. So, the other thing I do think about too with Delta Force in terms of what like this Justin is talking about, in terms of the gun customization, I feel like the devs felt like they didn't want to bifurcate the all out. I can't remember what the all out warfare game and then the extraction game. I feel which they probably should have, but for whatever reason they felt like they didn't want to. Yeah, because like for the extraction style game, that crazy gun customization is fine because that's what people are looking for in that style of game. But like they absolutely should have like optimized it, shrunk it down a little bit more for the all war, because that was like I don't.
Yeah, let me go play a match and then spend 10 minutes changing everything and tuning and moving my grip 3 millimeters further.
Right, exactly,
back
which you could do.
and adding some weight to the stock.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that after every single fucking match.
After you unlock the new stuff. Exactly. Yeah. And then basically have it really not even matter. Exactly, because we're 30 FPS casuals and we're terrible anyways. Exactly. So yeah, any 30 FPS casuals in the chat? Let's go. Yeah. So exactly. Yeah. So, but I think DICE is, they know, yeah, they're not going to get too crazy like that. But I absolutely would love to see, like the plus system be more customizable in terms of, like, okay, I know I got 8 options. I can, like, I want to, like, for sniper rifles, like, I'm making scope, I'm making ammo type, and, like, I'm making, like, hopefully there'll be, like, options for the, like, the action, the bolt action and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, stock. That's what I want. I want to be able to change those things out in case I need to adapt them to my situation or whatever. For assault rifles, clearly I'm bringing muzzle into my muzzles, my undergrips, my stock, and my maybe even just my grip or my magazine. Exactly. See, you can already see how like you would like to customize what you would like to have in your plus system. Yeah. So that would be pretty awesome, DICE, if you did that, right? It's okay. Thanks. Right. So, because we know you listen to the podcast, maybe, I don't know. So anyway, yeah. So that's about it for all that stuff, boys and girls. So that about rounds up everything that's happened with Battlefield, the new Battlefield game leaks and all that good stuff. So there you go. This just in says, I think lasers and flashlights should just come stock on every gun. I don't know why games don't just do that instead of using a slot for them. They don't need to have pros and cons. Yeah, that's an interesting thought. That's an interesting way to look at it. Yeah, that is one of the things that a lot of people like about Black Ops 6 is that there's a lot less like pros and cons stuff with attachments for your weapons, you know? So yeah, no, that's a good point too. Hopefully they do kind of take a cue. I would like it if DICE took a little bit of a cue from Black Ops 6 in that department as well. Like, just, you know, don't get too crazy with the pros and cons of, like, you know, switching out your attachments. Like, you know, just attach, you know, make them, you know, different for different situations. Not necessarily having to, like, you know, if you want to do, you can use this, but you get a big penalty if you know, to this aspect of the gun. You know what I mean? If you want to use this particular thing. So yeah. So all right. So yeah, that'll do it. Anything else? Did we miss anything? Anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think we hit pretty much everything. I can't think of anything else. Yeah, we'll see how this all plays out. It's all very early days, but my hopes are not quite as low as I think they were a month ago on this. These videos and everything, I don't want to say instill confidence because that shit's been shattered years ago, but it paints everything in a better picture or a better light than what we've seen in 10 years, 9 years, whatever. BF1, you know, the lead up to everything is in a lot better position than it has been.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I agree, like 1000%. It is yeah, we were very down on the game on 2042 and lots of talk of, like, yeah, I mean, our expectations are just in the shitter. but yeah, like I was saying earlier when we were looking at some of this stuff, it looks okay. I mean, it looks like, I mean, like, again, I'm not saying that means that means the game is going to be good. I'm not saying the game is going to be good. I'm not saying it's going to be awesome. I'm not saying like that they're on the right track. Oh, it looks like they're on the right track. This is very early stuff, very raw, very,
they can Ferrari it at any fucking moment.
Exactly. They could 100% Ferrari this, like, exactly, with just whatever, like, they could decide this mechanic, like, they could, like I said, they could decide, oh, you know what, no, we're gonna have this, like, this, your character go flying back when you get hit with bolt action sniper rifles, whether or not it kills you or not. That would fucking suck. That would, something like that. They could again decide some kind of crazy tornado is gonna fucking, I don't know, it's gonna, so, who knows? Exactly. They could Ferrari this thing at any fucking second. So, but hopefully they don't. Yeah, well, this is, hopefully they don't. There. Okay, yeah, it's upright. Yeah, that's the right one. So, yeah. I would love to, go XLR. I would love to see all of them in one place. Anyway, exactly. They could Ferrari it at any moment. For all we know. But but man, it looks pretty, like I said, the fact that it's got the BF3 vibe gives me, makes me feel a little warm and fuzzy on the insides. Like, I like that. I like that's got a little bit of a BF3 vibe. I like that. It seems like they're very, very much thinking about the way the UI looks, which they fucking didn't give a fuck about the way the UI looked in 2042. It's like some of the worst UI work, and it's probably the worst UI work in the history of fucking Battlefield games. So so those kind of things are kind of making us feel not so negative about the approach, the run up to this new game. So, but we'll see. We will see. So, okay. Speaking of Ferrari, oh boy, we just oh boyed it like so fucking in sync there. It's hilarious. Yeah. So again, for those of you new to the podcast, now that we're done talking about Battlefield, Evan and I are gearheads, and we like Formula One. So we got to recap some Formula One stuff here with Evan's F1 recap. Okay, so I know a little bit about what happened in Australia. We're 2 races in, right?
Yes.
2 races
Japan is
in
next week.
And Japan is next week. So we've got Australia and what was the last? China. Yeah, Australia and China. Okay. Ferrari be fucking up. I know this much because I don't know the details because I didn't watch the Chinese Grand Prix. I actually watched like the last 20 laps of the Australian Grand Prix. All right, so before we get into Ferrari, who are our 2 race winners so far?
So far it is Lando Norris in Australia and Oscar Piastri in China, both McLaren drivers.
Both McLaren drivers, that's right. So we we have 2, so in the, like crap. So we've got 2 McLaren victories to start off 2025 Formula One season. I mean, was anyone expecting that?
From some preseason testing.
Yeah,
that was kind of the vibe that was out there.
All right, yeah, I think I remember you talking about that. Yeah, so 2 McLaren victories to start off 2025. So what happened in Australia? Like, what was the confusion in Australia between Leclerc and Hamilton?
So I don't know what their problem was. They just went, oh, you know what? It's raining. Let's leave these cars out on slicks for 4 laps too long and just see what happens. And they Ferrari'd it and fucked it all up and lost, I don't know, 5 or 6 positions because they were on slicks in the wet. And then I think they had slow pit stop too.
Oh, really? Okay.
To really compound it.
Okay. So that was
Australia.
Okay, yeah.
China's arguably so much worse. So they went and won the sprint race on Saturday. Lewis Hamilton led it flag to flag, no problems at all.
Right.
They changed some stuff on the cars that made them slower. And then both Ferraris got disqualified after the race for different technical infringements, which is awesome to see as a Ferrari fan, that they fucked it up in two different ways.
Oh gosh. Oh.
One of the cars was like a kilogram underweight, and the other one, there's a plank of wood underneath the car that they'll scrape down over the course of the race.
Yeah.
Lewis's was worn down like half a millimeter too much.
Oh my gosh.
It's some real bullshit, because they had a decent finish. They fucked it.
Which
hard.
to like the layman ear might sound like, what the fuck does that even matter? But in Formula One, these fucking cars, these things are the most precise fucking things like on the planet. So that's been a thing in for a long time, actually. And it has something to do with like, does it have something to do with like your ride height or something, the way you're supposed to ride? Because if your ride height isn't, you're not allowed to allow that plank of wood to wear down too far, right? Yeah. Which seems kind of weird, because like, well, if it's the bottom of the car, if it's scraping the bottom of the track, like so you're supposed to fucking, you can't, which I think has to do with the fact that like, because the center of gravity, I can talking's easy. The lower the center of gravity is in any car, allows it to handle better. And so I think that's what the regulation has to do with, right? Like they're trying to like prevent the teams from like fucking slamming the car too much so that the center of gravity is so low that it can handle better. Because because this is, if you're listening to the word, I'm sorry, I'm going to, and the point of all that being that is because the lower the center of gravity, the better the car can corner, the faster the car can corner, which is always been what kind of they're afraid of happening, because that's basically what killed Ayrton Senna, right? That's basically what killed Ayrton Senna, because that fucking car was, those cars could corner so fast, and he was going around Tamburello. Now, what happened with Senna's car has really nothing to do with the center of gravity. His steering broke, and that was a whole nother thing. But that was just what they determined what was really too dangerous about the cars back then. They were wider, their center of gravity was low, so they could corner so fast. So that's really what this regulation has to do with. It's really to prevent these cars from cornering at speeds that are too dangerous. So, yeah. But the teams know they can control that with the ride height, and so they clearly had his ride height just a little too low, probably trying to get some. Do you think they knowingly did it, like hoping to just eke out some little advantage?
So I'm sure that they knowingly lowered it. I don't know if they knew that going so far would have an effect like that.
Right, yeah.
It was probably, you're going down the back straight at 200 miles an hour or whatever, and the car is probably porpoising a little bit,
right,
bouncing up and down and wearing that down more than expected. Or maybe they went, oh, you know what? We're Ferrari, we're Italian, we're just going to fuck it up anyways. Bada bing, bada boom.
Exactly.
Who fucking knows?
Exactly. The car, oh god, what's the particular person's name? The race engineer. The race engineer was busy making an espresso. Yeah. Lewis was probably trying to ask him about like how the car was set up, and he was like, "Huh? No, yeah, no, it's fine. No. Excuse me, I'm making an espresso here." And then he forgot all about
making an espresso, smoking a cigarette.
Exactly, yeah, because they're Italians. This is what they do. This is what my people do. Technically, I'm Sicilian, so I guess I don't have to claim them, I guess. So anyway, so yeah, okay, gosh. So Ferrari, man, with seemingly a pretty decent car. I mean, they won a sprint race, so the cars got some pace. But they just can't get out of their own fucking way. Just continue to just not be able to get out of their own fucking way. So, I don't know. Hopefully, well, we'll see. Maybe,
And It's Ferrari. Who fucking knows?
Exactly. Who knows? But again, and then again, those Italians are fucking. They're they're homebodies. It's tough being in Australia and China. So that's always actually been the thing. Like they always say some of these teams always perform better once they get back to like the European schedule of the year. So the European go. So anyway, all right. So there's our F1 roundup and the V10 sound effects there. Oh yeah, so let's talk about that real quick. Is there actual talk of the possibility of V10s coming back?
There is talk about it. I don't think it's going to happen. As much as a fan of that era in the sound, I don't think it's going to happen. It doesn't make sense from like the manufacturer side. Audi and Honda and Mercedes are all not really going to want to do that. Ferrari's going to go, oh yeah, I can fuck that up. I can make a bigger engine with more cylinders and make it unreliable, but it doesn't have a lot of carryover into the real world at this point.
Okay,
I don't think it's gonna happen.
No, you're probably right. I've seen some blurbs on the Twitter timeline about the possibility that there's talk in this. Yeah, it's just a lot of talk. Probably, you're right. No, I mean, from a cost perspective, it's like they've been making these V6s for how long now? The sports. Yeah, they've been making them this for how long? That's what all of their facilities are set up for. For making these V6 blocks and these regulations. It's like, yeah, why would they go back to V10s now? And like, I mean, it's not like a lot of these teams don't have the money to do it. But I mean, I don't know. I guess they kind of don't if you think about it. Like 6 teams do. Ferrari, McLaren, Mercedes, Williams. And Red Bull. But then when you start
the engine manufacturer teams have the capability, but they're also not going to go, oh yeah, I'm going to make this that doesn't have any return on investment for me in our road cars.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. All right, what's up? Top of the potato. You know who you are. Traded in the Miata. Did you seriously trade in the Miata? You better not be lying to me. You better not. I mean, you just better not be trolling me. I mean, if you did, I mean, I'm not like that upset. I got to drive it. You did? What did you? Okay, what? All right. So this is some friends of mine. They owned I think it was like a 2021 Miata. Yeah, nice black convertible. Yeah, really nice little car. I had a lot of fun driving that thing actually. Let's go. The 2024 Miata Grand Touring. Oh, let's go. That sounds spicy. Are you familiar with the Grand? Like, is this a new? I have no idea what a Miata Grand Touring is. Are you familiar with that one?
It's a trim level.
Oh, it's just okay. I didn't. Oh shit! I didn't read. I had no idea there were trim levels for Miatas. I just thought you got Miatas.
Yeah, I think there's 3 anymore.
Oh, okay. Sweet.
Grand Touring's the top.
Let's go. All right. Hell yeah. Can't wait to take this one for a spin. All right, boys and girls, that's going to wrap it up for us. We'll stop wasting your time geeking out about cars. All right, yeah, so that's it for us. Again, thanks everyone for listening. Follow us on YouTube, PTFO Podcast, The Objective Battlefield Podcast. Search for it on YouTube. Twitch.tv/Dubfire33. If you use the X or the Twitter, whatever you want to call it, at Dubfire33, that's where you can find us. And join the fucking Discord. Check the show notes, and then you'll find a link to our Discord, and you can hang out in there. You can talk about Battlefield or whatever the fuck you feel like talking about, So, yeah. So keep an eye on all that stuff because we will be back here. Probably in about another month or so. Probably, we'll probably get another round of leaks and information. Possibly even, we're approaching spring now. Spring, summer. So, I imagine there'll be more talk of, Battlefield labs. Maybe there'll be some people we know possibly getting invited for playtesting. perhaps we may even, I imagine in about 6 months, there could be talk of public playtesting. We'll see. You never know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's probably 6 months down the road or so. But when more news and more leaks do pop up here in the next month, hopefully or so, we'll be here talking about it. So, all right, boys and girls, we love you. Stay safe out there, and we will see you next time.
Deuces.
All right, we out there. Cool. All right, got a nice little hour and a halfer in there. Cool. Heated seats in Sirius and stuff. Okay. That's cool. I was gonna say, I imagine the trim levels on a Miata don't change the performance aspect stuff very much, right?
Well, the base models are probably lighter because they don't have heated seats and stuff.
Exactly, yeah.
Which at 180 horsepower makes a difference, but no, they're not doing much else past that.
Okay, yeah, gotcha. That's all they have is 180 horsepower?
ND2s and up, which is 2019, is 181.
Wow. That's fucking awesome, man. Because when I drove my buddies here, gosh, man, that's what awesome little cars. I mean, I had the ass end out like nothing. You know what I mean? It was not hard to get the ass end out. It was really fun. But it just grabs the road. It's so awesome, yeah. With a fancier tablet thingy. Still no power. Nope, no power seats. Yeah, and it's my buddy and his wife. She was not. It was fun. I think I told you the story. Like, they had it for a few weeks or something, and I think he asked me like on her behalf. He's like, so is there something? Is there anything we can do to like kind of make it ride a little nicer? I'm like, no. You bought a sports car, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
You can make it stiffer.
Yeah, I'd say you can make it even stiffer, or I mean, maybe let a couple pounds out of the, couple of notches of air pressure out of the tires. Maybe it'll ride a little slightly better. Probably not, but
yeah.
Actually, that would probably make it worse. You're not hearing this. It was fine. She was fine. That's the way Miatas like it when the ass end is out. That's where they live.
They like it a little rough, yeah.
Exactly. That's where they live.
They wouldn't race them so much if they didn't like going a little sideways sometimes.
That's right. She's not having it. All right. You drive it like a grandma, which is fine. It's your car. You can drive it however you want, but I still tell her I'm taking you for a ride in it. And I'm gonna show you what it's all about. Anyway. All right, I'm gonna hit it. So yeah.
Yes, sir.
Might jump back on and play a little bit of golf on here or something later. Oh yeah, that's right. I didn't mention that. I've been playing PGA. I've been playing golf like a ton, dude. It's so fun.
I've been playing F1 Manager 24.
Yeah, I saw
it
that.
Might be my new favorite game.
Oh, no kidding.
4 hours today. Yeah, I did 2 races.
Damn, nice, dude. Well, like, what? I mean, do you get to like manage from like different levels, or are you just like strict team manager? Is that what you do?
So you are the team manager, the team principal. So you can decide what gets researched for new parts, what gets researched for cars next season, when to manufacture parts, upgrade facilities, who you hire. You control like the race pace, so you can have the drivers push or conserve, hold back a little bit, and kind of go through everything. It's very nerdy. I'm about it.
It's super nerdy, yeah. That's cool though. All right, let's bounce. Prescribed napkin. I give you props on that username, even though you're just a bot trying to sell me cheap viewers. But I kind of like your username. Prescribed
Give
napkin.
Their account back.
Yeah, seriously. You know what I mean? That's pretty funny. This just in. Thanks for checking in, dude. Nope. Benji, you old fuck. You old dying fuck. Thanks for following me. Thanks for the subscribe on YouTube. Nope, you subscribed on YouTube too. Thanks, man. yeah, Llama, thanks for hanging out. I'll see you everybody. Yeah, I'm gonna kill the stream now. So.